Okay, I'm back. Tsukihime time. Hold on. How do I check the history? Oh god. Let me save first. Having finished lunch, it's now afternoon. Thanks to this morning's medical exam, I'm able to at least walk around without much trouble. Given I can't go too far, how should I spend the afternoon? I don't know. What's this one about? That's a good question. Tsukihime is about... Our main character is a psychopath who can see lines on everything, and if he cuts the lines, the things die and break. And we run into a vampire named Arcuid, who I really like, and she tells us, well, actually we kill her, and then she revives, and then she tells us, all the murders going on in your town is because of this really bad vampire, so you're gonna help me kill him. And we're like, okay. And now we killed him, and then she threw us back to our house with our family, and our family was like, where the fuck have you been? And we were like, we were killing a vampire, and they're like, are you fucking crazy? What the fuck are you talking about? So now we're here. Oh, I seen you some of this one. Yes, I don't know which one to pick. I'm tempted to go into the city to try and find Arcuid. Right, I'll wander all over the plaza over to the plaza by the station. Not sure if I'll be able to go downhill with my legs in the state they're in, but if it hurts I can just turn around. After that I announced I'm headed out for a bit. History dutifully came out all the way to the main gate with me to see me off.
四季様、お帰りは何時頃でしょうか。
心配はいらないよ。今日はちゃんと夕方までには帰ってくるから。
かしこまりました。それでは行ってらっしゃいませ。
Okay, there we go. It is me. I just want to make sure it worked. Hisui bows deeply. Feeling a little embarrassed by her deference, I depart from the mansion. Dokadola. Before I know it, my feet have carried me all the way to the north side of the station. It hasn't even been 24 hours since last night's incident. There are off-limit signs around the perimeter, along with a few guards. Actually make that an unusual number of guards. They're stationed such that they're only about 5 meters apart. Pretty sure even a kitten wouldn't be able to sneak past this. The news reported that last night's fire was the result of an underground gas pipe exploding. As of right now, the death toll numbers are more than 20 people. At least 50 others sustained serious injuries. The police officers are not included in those figures. The records of the officers who bravely stood against the vampire, against the inferno, and were reduced to ash by his flames will never be released to the public. It's fine with me. I don't like cops. I suddenly noticed something strangely unsettling. The perimeter of the collapsed area is tightly cordoned off. Cordoned? I don't know. And entry is clearly forbidden. Not a single person is entering or exiting the site. I would have expected the scene to be packed with people investigating, or start working on repairs.
というか、そもそも。
There are barely any police cars here. This area is being guarded by a private security company, and there aren't many policemen in sight. It seems that the police are short-staffed as a result of the recent string of incidents. I leave the scene of the incident, return to the plaza in front of the station. Sit down on a bench and watch the crowds of people as they come and go. Wonder how long I've been doing this for. Suddenly... There she is! There's my girl! catch sight of her retreating figure and leap to my feet, only to realize my eyes were playing tricks on me.
なんだそれ。
No reason to talk to her. Besides, now that she's accomplished her goal, exterminating Blob, there's no reason for Arkanoid to stick around. I'm such a fool. There's no point in whiling away my time here like this. What was I hoping to achieve by coming all the way out to the city?
だよな。もともとそういう関係だし、もうあんな無茶をしなくていいかと。
Closed my mouth before I could finish my sentence. No point even uttering such a transparent lie. It'll definitely be a lot less lively without her around, but whether that's a good thing or not is hard to say. After all, I'm still left with these feelings in my heart. Among those feelings is regret and even lingering affection. She was nothing but trouble, but even so, it was kind of fun to spend time with her.
バカか。
Nearly got killed. Why on earth am I still pining after her? The wound I sustained last night is still there on my leg. I remember how it felt when it seemed like I was going to be killed by Blob. I don't want to go through something like that ever again.
もうすぐ夕方だ。屋敷に戻ろう。
Shake my head to cool my favorite thoughts and turn my back on these illusory visions of Arkwood. You don't bump into her? Damn. The rest of my afternoon passed off without incident. I returned to my room to loaf around for a bit, and the next thing I knew, it was already time for dinner.
呆れた。いい加減忘れろよ。
Shake off the thoughts that the blonde woman still lodged in my mind. I know it's a common refrain that the sun sets early in autumn, but it really does disappear far too quickly. Guess I was so absorbed in my insignificant thoughts that I lost track of time. Akiha and I sit in the dining room. Kohaku waits attentively behind her, and Hisui is likewise standing a little ways behind me. The dinner Kohaku has prepared for us consisted of a series of courses, culminating in a main course of Wagyu beef. I don't know. Maybe it's one of the customs of the Tono residence, but Akiha spends the meal in utter silence, a prime expression on her face as she conveys each morsel of food to her lips. We crashed a lot last time, so I'm gonna be saving regularly. Akiha had returned to the mansion maybe an hour or so prior. Apparently some sort of unforeseen problem had cropped up, and she had to go run it to the ground.
翡翠、念のため聞いておくけど、うちの夕食って死後現金だったっけ？
I asked Hisui in a whisper, try not to be heard.
いいえ、親族の皆様間での談話は自由。
じゃあ、秋葉が黙っているのは単に機嫌が悪いだけ。
申し訳ありません。私には分かりかねます。あくまで憶測ですが、秋葉様はお疲れなのではないでしょうか。
そっか、そりゃそうだよな。いつも不機嫌だけど、今は特にご機嫌斜めだし。
I nod earnestly and sympathize with her. Can't say this out loud, but the best thing I can do for my sister after her weekend has been cut short by some unexpected crisis is to just let her rest. No reason for me to go and put my foot in it by bringing the topic up. Let sleeping Akiha's lie and all that.
聞こえていましたよ、兄さん。別に午後の視察で疲れているわけではありません。食事は静粛にが当家のマナーですから。
She glares at me. It's only natural she'd notice me talking to her, but the fact that she could even make out what we were saying is disconcerting. Her hearing must be insanely sharp.
もっとも、それも過去の話ですが、 どうしても話がある。今日一日の出来事を語り合いたい。
Nodded my head, understanding a Zoom meeting. Perhaps as a result of having a light breakfast followed by a light lunch, by evening I developed quite the appetite. Though despite that, I'm finding tonight's menu a little difficult to stomach. Not just because the beef tenderloin and foie gras. I don't know. French always fucks me up. Foie gras? I don't know. But also because the deep red sauce forcibly reminds me of blood, and by extension all the events that led up to yesterday. An unexpected murder, an impossible reunion, an unbelievable monster. Weighed down by that heavy loss of life, their outstretched fingers, the touch of death. Finally, what I knew would naturally follow after we defeated the vampire, parting ways. How pathetic, to sink this deeply into my reverie. My fever hasn't abated at all, has it?
それで、私の仕事ぶりをいたわってくれた兄さんは、午後の休みをどのように過ごされたのです？
俺のことか。午後は散歩に出て、部屋に戻ってからは
それは、また貧血ですか？
いや、考え事をしていたらいつの間にか夜になってたというか。
つまり、無意に時間を浪費したということですね。はあ、そんなくだらないことを堂々と口にしないでください。私は何とも思いませんが、他の人が聞けば笑い物になるだけですから。
Akiha's reaction is merciless and leaves no room for rebuttal. Be that as that may.
確かに自堕落に思われる発言だった。というか自堕落だった。反省している。けど、秋葉は何とも思わないってどうして？
Can it be her strict attitudes just for show? She's actually benevolent when it comes to her family.
どうしても何も当然でしょ。私は党の指揮に何も期待はしていませんから。兄さんがそういう人であることは初めから承知の上です。
I see. What an enlightened perspective. Can't be disappointed if you never get your hopes up. Guess this is how it feels to be at a loss for words.
いやー、ごちそうさまでした。
ごちそうさま。食後は習い事がありますので、私はこれで。兄さん、反省なされたのでしたら、今夜は早めに部屋に戻って勉学に励ん。
She gets up from her seat and leaves the dining room. Believe tonight's lesson is a violin recital she planned earlier this evening. How much of an overachiever is she? I'll definitely develop an inferiority complex at this rate. Oh, like you don't already have one, Shiki.
四季さん、ファイトです。秋葉様に負けないで。
The mischievous maid pumps her fists in support. She follows Akiha out of the room. After dinner, took a quick bath and headed back to my room. Take a seat at the desk furnishing my room. Sakuya says I'd better make up for the fact that I spent the day idling around. Spread my textbooks out across the surface of the desk. Despite all the unbelievable things that happened to me recently, at the end of the day I'm still a second-year high school student. I have a massive pile of work that needs to get done.
いや、山積み。
No matter how hard I try, I can't concentrate. There's only one thing I can think about. But you're the woman who no longer needs me and who I really ought to forget.
ああ、もう今日はやめやめ。
Give up, lie on my bed and staring endlessly at the ceiling. It's okay, tonight will be the end of it. Last 2 days were full of excitement for better or worse. You'd have to be crazy to forget something like that. I just need a day to cool off, that's all. I'll just lie here doing nothing and let my consciousness drift. In order to keep my memories at bay and to dilute down the impression she left on me, I'll consign myself to nothingness and let the hours slip away. If I do that, all the events that have transpired will surely become nothing more than fragments of the past. Surely. Eventually my eyelids begin to droop. My consciousness slowly fades. My senses are subsumed by the unbearable darkness. And just like that, the day that went by so peacefully comes to an end. Lying there in bed, wondering if I'm simply trying to fool myself, I sink into an uncertain slumber. Oh, sure, I'll save. Sure thing. Ooh, 7th day. Let's go. Day 7. Eyes of Death Perception 1. I don't know how many days there are. I wake up, my thoughts still hazy. My arm feels a little heavy as I reach up for my glasses. I must have developed a light fever. The detached thought I put them on. My vision returns to normal, but the mild dizziness persists. My symptoms resemble those of a cold, but this is one of those fevers peculiar to the morning. Like an engine that hasn't started up in a while being warmed by combustion, this feeling will subside with time. There's a knock at the door. After a short pause.
失礼します。
With a bow, Hisui enters the room.
おはよう翡翠。今朝もありがとう。
おはようございます。四季様。お目覚めになられていたのですね。
ああ、昨日はぐっすり眠ったから。着替えたらすぐに食堂に行くよ。琥珀さんにはちょっと熱があるから量は少なめだって伝えてほしい。
かしこまりました。体温計は必要でしょうか。
Oh, this
い
is
らない
so
よ。
cute.
どうせいつもの微熱だし。
それでは着替えはここに。食堂でお待ちしております。
She bows and leaves the room. Perhaps it's just me, but her bow didn't seem as sharp as
心
usual.
配してくれてるのかな。
Of course she's worried about you.
本当にいつものことなんだけど。
Of course she is, you dummy! I appreciate the concern, but it's nothing to make a fuss over. Oh, famous last words, really. It'd be more warranted for a wound like that. When you can tell it's serious at first
し
glance.
かしガムテープは本当ないよな。見てるこっちの血の。
Cut myself short before I can finish my sentence. There is no next time. I'll never see each other again. Cap. You couldn't convince me to get involved with that walking calamity of a woman again. Not for all the money in the world. I don't need to convince you. You'd be running into her arms immediately.
それがいいに決まってる。
I digest that undeniable fact. It's Monday. Beginning of the week. Perfect for getting a fresh start. Having washed my face and dressed myself, I enter the living room. Akiha is sitting on the sofa. The clock has only just struck 7, but she seems to have already finished her breakfast and is now gracefully enjoying a cup of tea.
あら、おはよう、兄さん。今朝は早いんですね。
She seems to be in a good mood. I wonder if it's because she's pleased to see me up and about so early.
おはよう。秋葉の方こそいつも早。
All of a sudden, I start feeling lightheaded, so I pinch the bridge of my nose. Even then, the dizziness won't go away. My body temperature rises so much I even start to think something's wrong.
兄さん。
Hear the faint rustling of clothes and the sound of approaching footsteps.
どうかしました？ 顔が赤いけど熱でもあるんですか？
いや、熱は確かに。
Comes right up next to me and peers into my face from below. It's odd. For some reason when I look at her, it feels like my dizziness gets even more intense.
少し熱があるようですね。昨夜はきちんと毛布を使いましたか？環境が変わったから調子を崩しただけでしょうけど、念には念よね。そこで待っていてください、兄さん。今琥珀を呼びつけますから、朝食の前に熱を測りましょう。
Turns her gaze to the lobby. She must be planning to go call for Kohaku, who's currently preparing breakfast. Take this opportunity to avert my gaze from Akiha. As I suspected, that was all it took to alleviate my dizziness.
いいんだ、アキハ。琥珀さんを呼ぶまでもないよ。
I really love old school anime aesthetic. Yeah, it's cool. Why is okay, I'm so confused. I thought I was piecing some things together, but I have no idea why looking at Akiha makes us
起
dizzy.
きたばかりで体調が悪いだけだから。
体調が悪いのならなおさら放っておけません。風邪だったらどうするんですか？些細な病気でも兄さんには大事でしょ。免疫や抵抗力が人より低いんですから。
Exasperated, she places her hand on my forehead. The sudden cold touch of her delicate palm sends a shiver down the back of my neck. For an instant, my breathing stops completely. Akiha's right, there is something wrong with me this morning. I don't understand why, but every single move she makes goes right to my head. Just watching her is enough to make my body temperature rise. If I were to touch her directly, it'd probably make me so dizzy I'd collapse.
兄さん、
Feel her voice echoing not in my ears but directly inside my brain. It's as if her beautiful black hair and her pale porcelain skin have turned into heat and are flowing directly into my head. This is bad. This feeling will pass. But it's just a little unstable as a result of all the fatigue that's accumulated. What I need to do right now before something unthinkable in front of Akiha is
休養を思い出した。
brush off her hand and run like the wind.
四季様、朝食まであと5分ほどかかりますが。
そうか、ありがとう。俺のカバンは？
カバンでしたらこちらに。
All this preparation. That's history for you. Think history and take my bag from
行ってく
her.
れ。見送りはいいから。
お待ちなさい。熱があるのに何をしているんですか、兄さんは。
Uh-oh.
第一、廊下は走らない。妹の言うことはきちんと聞くが我が家のルールです。おとなしく居間で熱を測ってください。
She's waiting for me in the lobby. She must have come to try and stop me. However, given that she's following her own rule about not running the corridors, it seems she's only made it here in the living room.
悪い。ルールを守るのはまた後で。熱も下がったし、このまま学校に行ってくる。朝飯は勝手になんとかするから、今朝は多めに見てくれ。
なんとかするって、ちょっと兄さん、待ちなさい。何ですかその言い分は。後で守るルールなんて、それじゃ規則とは呼べません。
Dash through the entryway towards the front door of the mansion, as if trying to escape her nagging. My heart, I clasp my hands together in silent prayer and apologize. Appreciate that she's worried about me. But what was I supposed to say? The truth is, just looking at you is almost enough to make me pass out. Can't even begin the retaliation that would have been in store for me if I had. They're taking a deep breath and finally able to calm down. Should be safe now that I put this much distance. Aki hasn't childish enough to announce I'm going to school too and then chase after her brother.
けど、怒る理由がルールについて。
Remembering what she said earlier brings a wry smile to my lips. Even though she's my sister, to this day I still can't say for sure whether her emotional boiling point is high or low.
コンビニにでも寄っていくか。
I don't have a lot of money in my wallet, but I should at least get something light to eat. It's not the fact that I actually have an appetite today of all days. Normally I wouldn't mind skipping breakfast, but I'm pretty hungry this morning, so I've just got to suck it up. Pick up some stuffed bread, and that should be enough to tide me over until lunch. Maybe he needs blood because he's a vampire now. Only a few minutes. Maybe he's been a vampire since he was a kid and didn't realize it. And that's why he doesn't like to eat food a lot. That's why he's anemic. I mean, this would make sense to me. Only a few minutes have passed since I stopped by the convenience store. It's about half an hour earlier than I'd usually be at school. There aren't many students visible on the sidewalk. In about 10 minutes, the area around the school gates will be packed, but for now there's only 2 or 3, with me included. Unlike the other day, there's no sign of the unbelievably beautiful woman sitting on the guardrail waiting for someone. In the schoolyard, the sports clubs are in the middle of their morning practice. With a sidelong glance in their direction, I head towards the entrance. I like moving my body, it makes me feel alive. However, I wasn't able to join any clubs. Because I have a chronic anemia, there's a chance I let the rest of the team down when it counts. Plus, my doctor also strongly insists I refrain from overexerting myself. Please don't beat me up. Why do you ask? Because they suck. Wait, out of everything, I wouldn't want to be a vampire because they suck? Oh my god. Whenever they did, I turned them down by saying maybe next time. Each time I felt an indescribable sense of estrangement. So here we are. I suppose I've been avoiding getting involved with them in any way, operating according to some sort of subconscious self-defense mechanism. Put a stop to my sentimental musings, silently cheering on my kindred spirits in the sports clubs. As they give it their all, I continue towards the main school building. Oh, I hate this. Go fuck yourself. I hate you. You should have died already.
はい。ちょっと時間を間違えて。おはようございます、ノエル先生。
On my way to the classroom, I bump into the horrid bitch. She seems shocked to see me. I suppose she wasn't expecting to run into anyone.
時間を間違えると遅刻するんじゃなくて、早くから登校しちゃうんだ。四季君はあれね。近辺かね。今時の若い子ならも
十分気楽にやってますよ。勉強好きでもあり、それより金曜日の無断欠席に。
ああ、あれね。大丈夫。お家には連絡入れてないから。たった1日のボイコットなんて普通だものね。四季君だってその方が都合が良かったでしょ。
The suggestive chuckle, she said something rather out of character. She really did me a favor, or rather I think she saved me. Akio would have been significantly angrier if she discovered I was absent on Friday. Get the feeling Noelle's education policy is just a tad too lenient.
あ、四季君ったら頭固いんだ。先生は不真面目なわけじゃありません。生徒の自主性を尊重してのことです。だってみんなこんなにも若くて美味しそうなんですもの。
Delicious
1
looking.
日ぐらい背伸びして遊びに行くのは仕方のないことだと思うの。
Delicious looking. Excuse me? Excuse me?
いえ、遊びに行っていたとかそういうんじゃなくて。
なんて冗談よ。分かってます分かってます。例の貧血でしょ。真面目な。それで体の方は大丈夫？
Let me worry there. In truth, her joke hit the nail right on the head, and I'm not about to tell
貧
you
血の
that.
方はなんとか。
さあ、それはよかった。じゃあ今日から気楽な学生生活に戻れるわね。
She definitely knows what happened.
ところで慢性的な貧血という話だけど、四季君はいつからそういう
I don't see how that's any of your business! No, we were not born with
生ま
it.
れつきではないんです。子供の頃に。
まあそれは気の毒に。それで運動をしなくなったり食欲が薄くなったりしたのね。それでどんなだったのかしら。
I don't see how that's any of your
はい。
business. Couldn't help but sound a little defensive at her cryptic question. As if licking her lipstick, lading lips with her tongue, no sensei says,
だからどんな事故だったのと聞い
It's
た
none
の
of your fucking business, bitch!
体がおかしくなるぐらいの怪我だったんでしょ。やっぱりすごく痛くて泣きわめくほど怖かったのよね。それこそ一度死んで生まれ変わってしまうぐら
I
い。
get that she suspects us of being a vampire, but like, fuck off. An indescribable chill runs through me. Not in reaction to her insensitive remarks, she's just got an insatiable curiosity. Perhaps more accurately, she has an inability to read the room. That much has been clear since she started working here. Gave me pause as I realized I don't actually remember the
ただの
details.
事故ですよ。こうして無事だし、大したことじゃありません。
Bow to her and walk past
四季
her.
君
Oh my god, what? I hate you! Leave me alone! Turn around in response to this bitch.
体調がいいのなら今日からしっかりね。これ以上無断欠席はしない方が身のためよ。
Kill yourself? I hate her. Something like a wink. The returnee from France. What? Is she French? Turns her head towards the staff room. I hate her so much. Probably be the first to arrive, but several of my classmates are already there.
早いな、遠野。金曜どうしたん？
おはよう。金曜は体調不良。
そうそう。放課後の部活動だけじゃなく、朝練まで自重しろって話になってきてさ。首相を交代したばっかだってのに。
Looked like everything was business as usual for the clubs, but I suppose they had been affected by the incident. Well, I just need to wait it out for a little. The incident will soon fade from the public consciousness, and club activities will return to normal. Surely that's gonna happen. Well, of course, everything's gonna just go back to normal and nothing will ever happen again. 5 minutes till homeroom, as I sit here reflecting on how lovely it is that the day's classes are about to begin with that incident.
やっほー、サボりまー。おはようございます。
Someone calls out to me from behind, ruining my morning.
やっす、不良くん。金曜日はナイス無断欠席でしたね。
Nice!
おかげで今朝また一段と元気ありそう。なんだよ、金土日と寝込んでたんじゃね？
寝込んでないし、貧弱でもない。金曜日はたまたま気分が悪くなっただけで、家に帰ったら回復したよ。面倒なんでそのまま学校は休んだけど。
マジか。あの豪華なお屋敷でのんびりアンニュイライフとか、たった3日でお貴族様の仲間入りかよ。相変わらず気も太いっつうか順応性高いっつうか、ほんと住めば都なのな、遠野は。めちゃくちゃ羨ましくねえ。
His bluff is a sight to behold. Could all stand to learn a thing or two from his rebellious
言っ
spirit.
とくけど慣れてないぞ。お前な、あの家がどれだけでかいか見てないから。
うんにゃ、知らぬ。あんだけ高いところにあって、かつ周りは塀と林だろ。敷地の中に入らねえと見えねえだろ。いや、デバガメ根性で見たいけどよ。でもほら、オタク。
俺が知るか。ああ、いや、恵子さんの話じゃ年に数回泥棒騒ぎがあるらしいけど、遠野邸に警察が駆けつけたこと。
お前、それ年に数回賊が押し入るのに警察が来ないって、それやばくね？
どこが？
Burglars are getting caught before the police even had a chance to show up. Call that pretty good security, not bad.
いや、だからよ、そもそも外に出てきてねえんじゃねえの？
なるほど。それならどんな噂も広まらないか。
We nod gravely to each other. We are terrified to think any deeper on the topic, so we do our best to change the subject.
そうそう、土曜の事故現場、もう見たか？北口駅前の大火事。地下から。
いや、まだ見てない。
俺、北口に改装前のデパートあっただろ。あの前にあった公園がごっそり地下に陥没してる。あれひでえぜ。でもまあ、悪いことばかりじゃない。 警備員やらテレビ局やらが押し寄せてるんで、北口のバカどもなり。
そうなのか。じゃあ
倉見橋のホテルってあのドームホテル？ああ。
Can't blame him for his lack of discretion. Even though those people burned to death in the incident, to Arihiko it's just a story from the next town over. Thanks to the constant stream of news we're subject to this day and age. No matter how tragic an event is, it will always be eclipsed by the next lurid news story and pushed out of the public consciousness. That is very accurate.
何にせよ物騒なのは変わらねえってこと。そういうお前さんもどうなんだよ。当のは中学からこっち貧血持ちのくせに学校だけは休まなかったじゃねえか。ま、
それと似たようなものだよ。交差点あたりまでは登校したんだけど、そこで気分が。弓塚といいお前といい。そこが悪いっていうのは否定しないけど。弓？
木曜からずっと欠席。今朝も来てね。あいつもずっと言うてしてたからな。いい加減テンパってた。
Arihiko's analogy are unique, shall we say?
おっと、じゃさらばだ。金曜サボった分真面目に勉学に励むがいい。
He cheerfully leaves the classroom. Is she going to hide in the infirmary or something? Seems like today is his turn to skip class. Where is my wife, Arcuid? Where have you gone? And if the bell rings for lunch, this degenerate reappears, yawning as though he's just only woken up.
よく寝た？どうも、飯食おうぜ、飯。
What a guy. I've got a hunch the only three things bouncing around that skull of his are sleep, food, and sex.
そりゃ飯は当然のように食べるけど、いいのか、俺なんかに構って。ランチは先輩。
あ？先輩とランチだ。
He frowns, his expression souring. Looks like Senpai gave him the cold shoulder again. I go and get lunch with Arihiko, having slept his fill in the infirmary.
宗谷駅前で検索。
Now hard at work hunting for information, mobile phone in his hand. It's like they say, trailing behind society by even 4 hours can prove fatal. What? Who says that? Could also be a case of internet addiction, but it's Arihiko we're talking about. He's a different breed from other students. Keeping up to date with what happens at Soya Station isn't just Arihiko amusing himself with other people's affairs. He's earnestly checking for anything that will give him an edge when it comes to surviving the nighttime world of the business district.
はあ、また定番のコンビニレジ強盗ですか。店員刃物で腹部を刺され重傷、犯人はアルコール依存症。うへえ、痛そう。
He demolishes his meal, browsing his phone with his other hand. Tradition of a father reading a newspaper during mealtime has transformed into its modern-day equivalent. Anyway, leaving that modern critique aside.
アリヒコ、食事時にその手のニュース読み上げるの。
楽しくねえですよ。けど世間に興味を持たない間抜けな友人のために世の中の物騒さを知らしめなきゃならんでしょ。聞いてますか、遠野くん。北口は倒壊するわ、酔っ払いは人を刺すわ、無差別に人を殺す通り魔はいるわ。
それは確かに。でも北口の事故はどうしようもないけど、それ以外はいつも通りって。
そうなの？通り魔って
いや、捕まってはいないだろうけど。
Cooper is no longer of this world. So there aren't any news stories with vulgar headlines about modern-day vampires, nor are there people being meaninglessly murdered by
ともか
them.
く、もうあんなふざけた事件は起きないし、 犠牲者も出ないってこ
Oh,
と。
famous last
街
words,
は元に
Shaky.
戻ったんだよ。
しかし
出ないよ。なん
だっておい、今朝で9人目の死体が発見されたって。
Shows me a screen on his phone. Can't believe my eyes. Just as he said, they're on a news aggregator website under a heading consisting of a bird's eye view of the plaza north of Soya Station. Is new information regarding the vampire serial
マジ
killings.
かよ。ここいつも言ってる映画館の裏じゃねえか。
待て。もう一度よく見せてくれ。
Borrow the phone. This isn't some troll spreading misinfo, nor is it unsubstantiated. Screen clearly shows an official statement from the police announcing the serial killer's ninth victim.
そんな。
At a loss for words. Blob is dead. I killed him with my own two hands. So then why are corpses with their blood sucked dry still appearing?
しかし現代の吸血鬼か。相手が美人のお姉さんなら座れちゃってもいいんだがね。
美人の。
Spine freezes at Arihiko's casual remark. I do not think that it was Arkwood doing this. I wouldn't mind having my blood sucked so long as the vampire was a hot babe. Can't take these playful words as a mere joke.
事件は。
Appearance of new victims proves the vampire is still alive. Simple process of elimination is all it needed. Blob is gone. That means the only other remaining vampire is... I don't think she did it though. Class is over, the school's come to a close. Yet here I am, wondering where the time went. I was so caught up in all the dark thoughts swirling around my head, I've only noticed the fact I'm alone.
通り魔殺人は。
Ordinarily, it would be obvious what that means, but I recall her saying something. Never killed a human being. Can't bring myself to believe she was lying.
ニュースが間違いなのか。
The only one who knows for sure is Arkwood herself. If I can track her down and see her once more, I'm sure everything will be cleared up. But even I don't understand why I want to. Killings are no longer any of my concern. My life returned to normal the moment I settled for the score with Blob. I fulfilled my duty. I must have. That's why there's no reason. No reason to go out of my way to set foot into such an abnormal world. Oh, 'cause your world is so normal, Shiki. I should just carry on as normal, pretending nothing happened. And go home without thinking anymore about this. Giving up and going home. As choices go, it's definitely the runner-up. That's 'cause a long time ago, someone taught me the number one thing to do in a situation like this.
どんな人間だって人生ってのは落とし穴だらけなのよ。君はそれを何とかできる力があるんだから、もっとちゃんとしなさい。
そうだ。何もしないって選択だけは。
Sword saved me. I live my life by those words. So I can't just stand back and turn a blind eye. This case is far from over. Having already gotten mixed up in it once, seems I'm now fated to see this troublesome matter all the way through to the bitter end. I leave the school grounds. I don't have much of a lead, but I just love the apartment Keisha entrusted me with. Head there first and see what I can find. Apartment is just as I remember it, but she's nowhere to be found. She's not here, but I can at least sense a trace of her presence. Feel a wave of relief pass over me at the assurance she hasn't vanished into thin
いいさ。 そう簡単に捕まえられるなんて思ってない。とにかく今は行動を。
Could wait here, but there's no guarantee she's coming back. I have no choice but to go out into the city and search for her at random, just like the first time I met her. As the sun sets, the city dons its evening visage. Searched all over the most likely areas, but found neither hide nor hair of her.
どうでもいい時はひょこひょこ歩いてたくせに、どうしてこういう時に見つからないんだ。
What should I do? When it's just begun, I should... Ooh, I have no idea. Oh, let's just keep looking. Keep searching the city. It's how we first met after all. Chance encounter. Relationship isn't so straightforward as to have a designated meetup location. If it turns out I can't rely on chance, I'll just have to put my own legs and intuition to work and seek out the white figure of hers.
そうだよな。人に会いに行くっていうのはそういうことだ。
That's how it was back before phones. Even you can find each other where you'd plan to meet up. You consider the other person's lifestyle and thought of patterns. You could seek them out with your wits alone. It's like a sixth sense, an innate human ability that we just take for granted. Even in this day and age, relying as we are on cell phones, there's nothing we can't do if we set our minds to it. Though I can only cover so much ground. The residential district or business district. I wonder which better for focusing on.
よし。
After a brief moment of thought, I settled on the business district. That's what I was thinking too. In addition, patrolling between north and south sides of Stoya Station, I'll extend my route over towards that side of the city. No matter how thick the crowds may be, if she's still in the city, if her retreating figure is still somewhere in the crowd, I absolutely will not let it slip away.
Yeah, ないわ。
Sixth sense my ass. Maybe she'll be right around the corner. This time she's definitely in front of the station. All my hunches and hopes inevitably ended in disappointment. Can't remember the last time I went on such a refreshing fool's errand. I might even go so far as to say this is a first. I suppose the reason for that is because I never knew when my anemia might flare up. I've always been careful to avoid meaningless exertion. So why did I choose to do something like this? To hair up after her, on the back of nothing more than substantial than the thought of maybe there's a chance.
でも夜はこれからが本番だし。
Save a message on my phone. Could it be Adihiko? I'll take my phone and check.
四季さん、急いでお屋敷に帰ってきてくださいますか？なぜかというと、突然のお客様がいらっしゃいまして、とても素敵な四季さんのガールフレンドを名乗る外国人の女性と、
Oh my god! She claimed to be our
朝の
girlfriend!
一件だけでなく、四季様がお帰りにならないことに不機嫌だった明葉様とかけます。
I wonder if she still
その心は？
shows up to our house if we go home. It's a cryptic email from Kohaku. Mine goes blank. Does that mean Arcoid's at the Tono mansion? I can easily see this going horribly wrong, but my brain refuses to even comprehend. I was naive, I truly was. Why on earth did I think Arcoid's actions would obey any kind of common sense?
にしても意味不明すぎるだろう。
Sprint for the mansion with all the energy I can muster. Hold on, I want to see what the other option was. Let's see what if she still shows up if I do this. It's currently 7 o'clock, so it doesn't get much traffic to begin with, but after the night falls, it's utterly devoid of any signs of life, and the whole area is silent. Thought about pressing the buzzer and having someone unlock the gate, but it's currently right before dinner. Both Kohaku and Hisui are probably in the kitchen. I won't want to get in the way. Using my key card, I go through the side door. However, the moment I arrive at the entrance, I remember the heated exchange from this morning. I wonder if she's still mad at me for rushing out of the mansion. Oh god, I have no idea what to pick. I didn't know there'd be another option.
Yeah, 子供じゃある。さすがにもう落ち着。
She yelled at me earlier because I've been running in the hallway. I've also refused to let her take my temperature. Tell me either of those actions were bad enough that she'd still be holding a grudge. Can't explain the situation, but if I show repentance, that would be enough.
そうそう。妙に厳格な性格になってるけど。
First, I'll let her know I'm back. After that, I'll use the time between now and lights out to come up with a plan to find Arkwood. Time comes, I'll slip out of the mansion.
ただいま。
Doing my best to sound carefree, I enter the lobby. Hear voices come from the living room. I wonder who it could be. Just before dinner, I wouldn't have expected anyone to be chatting at this hour. Kohaka should be in the kitchen. I don't think Hisui's the type to strike up a conversation with Akiha.
秋葉のやつ。琥珀。
Other possibilities there's a guest over. I start to head over to see what's going on, but as I do so, Hisui comes out. She must have come to greet me after hearing my voice, but is it me or is her expression gloomier than
遅くな
usual?
ったけど。
She stares at me vacantly. She doesn't even respond with her usual welcome back.
気のせいか。
四季様にお客様で先ほどから今でお待ちですので。
俺に客？
She nods
おかしい
affirmatively.
な。俺を訪ねに来るやつなんていないはずだけど。
Hang on, I have an incredibly bad feeling about this.
翡翠、それ。
金色の髪をした綺麗な女性の方です。
な。
Her description is straight to the point. Instinctively, my body breaks into a run. I race for the devil's living room as fast as my legs will carry me. Till she disappears.
何がどうなってんだ！
Then the door wide open and bursts into the room. Last 30 too late. I'm greeted by the latest plot twist in my character development. Another situation beyond my control that promises to upend my world all over again.
あら、お帰りなさい。今夜もまた。
あ、やっと帰ってきたな、こいつめ。妹さんばかりか私まで待たせる
Yay,
と
she's
か、やっぱ
back!
り普段から横暴なのね。
Both of them are looking at me. Their expressions are like night and day. This feeling, I know this feeling. It's the sort of thing that shows up a lot in films. The suffocating, heart-rending desperation of a soldier with a gun to the back of their head being told to beg for their life. Don't think I'm going to be able to talk my way out of this. Of all the things that could have happened, Arkwood and Aki have come face to face. Arkwood is sitting there placidly while Aki sits on the sofa looking composed. But under the surface, while Arkwood's calm demeanor is just a natural consequence of her being an airhead, Akiha's is simply a veneer over her obvious hostility. She glances
どう
towards
したん
me.
ですか、兄さん。そんなところに立っていないで。
Actually not. I have the feeling I ended up with a knife stuck in me the second within range of the sofa, so I'm going near it.
それより秋葉、こい。
I'll explain this to her. I can't just pass her off as a classmate. Get the feeling saying I met her on the street would only make things work.
その
She pierces me with her unforgiving gaze. Fine. Probably past the point where anything I can say can make a difference. I want to make sure no one gets hurt. Of course, my own peace isn't threatened. I have no choice but to come up with some kind of explanation. I've got to come up with an explanation before I get to it. Under what pretense did this vampire, happily standing there with a grin on her face, as though this is all no concern of hers, managed to make her way into the mansion in the first place? I find it pretty hard to believe Aki would invite a stranger to live
その前
here.
に、こいつ、なんて言ってやってきたの？
Tilts her head perplexed.
兄さんのご友人ではないんですか？この方はそう自称しましたが。
ああ、うん。友人といえば。
そうですか。兄さんのご友人でしたら。
それはです。
There's a bomb to mumble.
ふん、友人ね。
Perhaps having grown tired of being ignored, she forces her way into the squabble.
あんなひどいことしておいて、そういうこと言うんだ。
Oh my god. Oh my god! Ugh. Feel faint. Little people mumbled by vertigo. This feeling of drunkenness, of being forcibly torn adrift from reality. I can't bear it.
それはどういった意味でしょうか。失礼ですが、ご自分。
ええ、バッチリね。でも安心して、そんなのもう気にしていないから。なのでどうぞお構いなく。私は四季を誘いに来ただけだもの。すぐに出かけるわね。そうでしょ四季。
This is bad. I let her keep talking, I'll be the enemy. But she said she was our girlfriend. I'm in a frantic desperation. I run over her and practically grab her by the arm.
ちょっと四季、急に何する。
Can't afford to sit here and listen to her complaints. Rushed out of the living room, dragging her along with me and leaving a dumbfounded Aki my wake. She's so bad. What was going through her mind as she watches me rush by with Arkwood? Thinking about it makes me feel a pit opening in my stomach, so I just put it out of my mind.
お出かけですか、四季様。
不本意ながらすっごく申し訳ないんだけど、玄関の鍵は開けておいてほしい。
はい、かしこまりました。
She bows courteously. I sprint past her and out of the mansion. Well, that was funny.
痛いな。いきなり外に連れ出すなんて四季って常識ないんじゃない？
I don't understand what happens if we do the other room.
にしても意味。
Sprint for the mansion. It's terrifying to imagine what she could be saying right now. The only thing worse than what's going through Akiha's mind as she listens to her. If I even start to think about that, I'll lose the will to live. Nice. Be my personal best. Having run all the way up the hill, I arrived at the residence out of breath. However,
ごくり。
breathing ragged from sprinting here calms down. Heavy, heaving shoulders come to a standstill. Little wonder, the mansion exudes the same heavy sense of dread you'd feel during the opening scene of a horror movie. Or rather... Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
まあ、ちょうどいいところに。覚悟はできていますね。
Hold on. So it always is easy for humans to be pressured into willingly accepting their own deaths. However, there's no path of escape for an older brother. If I fall to here, the situation will only continue to get worse. Strengthen my resolve and rush headlong into the lion's den.
ようやくお帰りになったようです。あと1分遅かった。
あ、やっと帰ってきたな、こいつめ。
Both of them are looking at me. I already read this. Is it exactly the same?
どうしたんですか、兄さん。
それより
その
その前にこいつ。
兄さんのこの方はそう。
ああ、うん。
そうですか。兄さんのご友人でし。
ふん。あんなひどい。
Seems like the same dialogue. I'm gonna head out, take care. Have a good day or night, Clex. Thanks for being here.
失礼。
ええ、バッチリね。なのでどうぞお構い。
いや
ちょっと。お出かけですか。
不本意ながら。
はい。
It seems the same. I don't know which one to pick then. Is there like a floor switch or...
痛いな。 いきなり外に連れ出すなんて式って常識ないんじゃない？
I'm confused. Hold on. Oh god, I really gotta pee again. Oh, did I not? I thought I saved again. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna go pee again. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. Okay, and I'll just keep doing it through all of this again.
Oh.
式さ
翡翠
金
Thought I saved, but I guess I did not, so I'm sorry.
何がど
Here we go again! Last time though, and then we'll move on. Cooking Aki has so funny.
こ
にこ
だ
そうに
あの
あんな
Arcwood is such a troll.
ええなの
いや
ちょっとお出かけ
不法
はい
Okay. Back to where we were. Has to be the least self-aware complaint of all
お
time.
前こそ何のつもりだよ真正面からうちの屋敷に来るなんて正気じゃないぞ
バカ女ってあなた私をバカにしてるの
Oh, that's a cute spray.
バカをバカって言ってんだからそれ以外何があるって言うんだバカ反論
Hit my boiling point. I've never been in such an inexplicable predicament before. I'm not gonna be able to calm down without giving her a piece of my mind.
何よ私は式にそんなに怒られるようなことしてな
会いに来ただけって
そうだけど何の問題もないからね魔眼も使ってないし式の妹さんにだって式の目のことも私が吸血鬼であることもちゃんと黙っててあげたんだから
そこは言わなくてもわかるそっちの話
わかんないなそれじゃあなんでそんなに怒ってるのよ
そっちがあんまりにも考えなしだからだよこの際だからはっきり言っておくぞ周囲の目を考える自分の頼むから もうちょっとおとなしめに行動すること。
Aw, so mean. Oh my god, the kitty ears! Feel refreshed now. I've gotten everything out of my chest. Arkwood, on the contrary, looks like she has a lot she wants to say. Like an indignant cat, she glares at me with a sullen scowl.
何よ、勝手なことばっかり言って。だいたいいるだけで目立つってどうしてよ。私、外見は人間と変わら。
美人はいるだけで目立つんだよ。人間であるかどうかなんて関
To her clearly. Perhaps because my reply left a little room for debate, she seems to have accepted it without a fuss.
まあこっちも言い過ぎた。こういう修羅場は初めてだったから気が動転してた。
別にいいよ。悪かったのは私の方みたいだし。
She nods rather obediently. Now that's all said and done. She's flattered we call her hot. I start to feel a little guilty for her, thinking she had some sinister motive.
で、どういや、俺もお前に話があったから。
そうなの？私は単に式はどうしてるのかなって様子を見に来ただけなんだけど。
Oh, I love her.
そうか、興味本位か。次は木の陰にでも隠れて。
I feel somewhat tired all of a sudden. This isn't the first time I've been jerked around as a result of her whims. At least she didn't let anything slip about the situation to Akira. I suppose that in her own way, she's doing the best she can and not cause any problems for me.
ともかく
Yeah,
だ。
be nicer to
真
her.
剣に話したいことがある。
いいけど。
すぐにわかる。そうだな。
Start walking, telling her to follow me. Tilting her head to the side, she obediently follows in line behind me.
「話って何なの、式？」
吸血鬼のこと。お前、
She nods affirmatively.
それじゃあ、今朝のニュースで昨日の夜に通り魔に殺されて。
She narrows her eyes. The air suddenly feels very tense. It's as if the solid ground I thought I'd been walking on was actually not, but a thin layer of ice. And now one wrong move could prove fatal.
それで
Well, nervously, she looks straight at me, pinning me down with her gaze. Sort of stare that makes me feel like she'd swoop down on me if I so much as twitched.
おかしいじゃないか。アルクエイド、ブローブは死んだ。なのにどうしてまだ吸血鬼騒ぎが起こる？
Put on your hands, and I.
はあ、もうそれは私じゃなくて他の吸血鬼の仕業よ。
Arkwood's immediate and somewhat exasperated response quickly disposed the tension that settled. Held back the inexplicable sense of joy welling up in my chest. It's too soon to be relieved. Well, I'm glad to hear it was another vampire's doing. There's still something that doesn't add up.
他の吸血鬼の仕業って、そう次から次へと吸血鬼が出てくるの？
まさかあの事件は初めから一人の吸血鬼の仕業よ。この町を食い物にする新しい吸血鬼なんてやってこないし、ブローブだってあの事件には全く関係ないわ。
Saying Blob was totally unrelated.
関係ないって、それ
言った通りの意味だけど。もういい？確かにブローブは吸血。
吸っていたかって当然だろ。
Oh, I get it now. Why didn't I spot such an obvious discrepancy? All the victims of the serial killer were discovered without injuries to their body outside the fact that their blood was drained. That's not what Blob would do. That guy's burned corpses to crisps. It's true that he did suck blood, but that wasn't the main way he killed people. In fact, the people who died at the hotel are currently being treated as casualties of a conflagration, not as victims in a murder case. Which means Blob had no connection to the serial killings.
待ってくれ。じゃあ一体どこの誰があんな真似を？
だからあの事件は私はその吸血鬼を殺すために。ブローブが来た理由はてっきり私を追いかけてきた一人かと思ったけど、ブローブにはそれだけの理性。ま、そのあたりはもういっか。ブローブは死んだんだし。 とにかくブローブとこの町に救っている吸血鬼は別物よ。ブローブは正真正銘無関係の第三者。私標的がブローブだなんて言わなかったでしょ。ブローブにとっての標的は私だったけど、私にとっての標的はこの町で通り魔と言われている吸血鬼だけよ。シキ、まさかとは思うけど、ものすごく単純な勘違いしてたとか。
Gasped in shock. Unfortunately, she's right on the money. Because she said that killing vampires was her objective, I immediately jumped to the wrong conclusion and assumed she came here to take down
そ
Blob.
れじゃあ何かあのよ。
無意味じゃないわ。シキは私の代わりに戦ってくれたんじゃない。ま、シキさえ私を殺さなかったらその必要もなかったでしょうけど。
Strength drains from my body and I feel like I'm about to fall to my knees. Battle that night was all for nothing. Even though we killed Blob, it didn't solve anything. Still a vampire in the city. For a brief moment, I find myself blaming her. This isn't good. My mind turns with a mixture of despondency and self-loathing.
悪い。しつこいけど、ブローブは吸血鬼殺人には関係なくて。
うん、そう。でもこれは私が済ませる問題だから、シキは気にしないでいいよ。そんなことよりねえ。
Looks at me with a worryingly playful
なん
expression.
だよ。言っておくけど。
Can't get a handle on my feelings. If she says anything weird now, I feel like my legs will simply give away.
ちょっとした疑問よ。二人でブローブを倒した時のこと。ねえ、なんで3分だったの？
なんでって。
シキ、3分しか時間はないって言ってたじゃない。
あのな、言っただろ。あそこは海の底みたいなもの。
ん？海の底だと3分なの？
Thank goodness. Still had energy left. I'm sure my retort would have been instantaneous.
まあそうだよ。人間はお前みたいなのと違って。
何よ、私だってちょっとは寒かったわ。海の底だって何時間も潜ってたら退屈だし。
Bit chilly, you say. So bad I thought I was gonna die.
下を向い。
いや、ちょっとめまいがして。気にしな。実際海に潜ったら3分だって怪しいからな。人間はか弱いんだから。頑丈な。
Why didn't I shoot her away with my
ま、
hand?
今さら言っても始まらないか。お前たちが化け物じみてるのは身にしみ。ブローブのことは俺がバカだった。それより歩く絵。
I managed to get my feelings under control and raised my head to resume the conversation, but it's this face she's making.
何よ、シキの意地悪。どうせ私は人間じゃないですよ。
Pouting, she turns away and begins to walk at a brisk pace.
おい、ちょっと待て。
人間なシキには関係ない。
Yeah, you keep calling her a monster. Of course she's gonna be upset. She just wanted to talk to you, and you're like, well, you're a monster. And it's like, okay, relax. She's sensitive! She must be really mad. She continues to walk away without looking back. Can't believe her. Where the hell does she think she's going? Maybe I touched a nerve. Maybe I was too cruel.
でも。
Didn't, right? Seeing how upset she is, I feel like I'm the one at fault. Actually, it is completely my fault. I'm the worst.
ああ、もう悪かった。今のは俺が悪かった。だから待て、止まれってば。
Started to chase after her white back. I'm definitely not doing this because I feel guilty. There's just something important we still need to discuss. ¿Por qué no los dos? She cuts to the city nightlife. Unwavering white silhouette with fluttering gold hair. Figure is the same one I saw when I first laid eyes on her. Perhaps it's closer to how she looked as she faced down Blob, standing tall amidst the crumbling wreckage. The conflicting feelings I'd been wrestling up with until now vanish. No doubts in my mind now. The figure ahead of me is the platonic ideal of a huntress. So much as I glance back to me, she just keeps walking.
話を聞けって。
When her weight doesn't stop. It'd be pathetic for her to give up on trying to get through to her after coming this far. Be pathetic, but for now I'll just hold my tongue and follow her. Wordless march continues, punctuated by only the sound of her footsteps. Till suddenly, she abruptly stops in her tracks and glares over her shoulder
つ
at
い
me.
てこないで。あなたみたいな普通の人間にいられると迷惑だってわからない？
人間で悪かったな。何をしているのか教えてく。
式には関係ないからほっといて。
Paces forward and resumes walking in a huff. Great, looks like I'm in for more tactile prowling around the city. Up the city's downtown area behind us and are approaching a deserted railway underpass when our quid stops again.
見つけた。
Voice was cold, like it belonged to a completely different person. Shiver runs down my spine. I can see from back here is her posture, but even that's enough for me to sense the scale of the murderous aura that now envelops her.
何を。
While silent before I can finish asking. Can tell even without hearing her say it. What emanates from her right now is murderous intent.
おい。何。
She doesn't respond. Her gaze is trained on an average-looking man in a business suit.
式、メガネを外してあの人間を見てみなさい。
あの人間って。
早く。私が何をしているか知りたいのなら。
はあ。あんまり。
Take off my glasses. Light headache pulses in my temple. Exchange for that pain, I faintly see the lines of the walls and ground.
確認しておくけど、あなたの線は生物の方がはっきり見える。
ああ。その方がより確かに見える。
でしょうね。あなたは生物だから鉱物の死を理解できない。形の上の摩耗というカテゴリーの結果は見えても、鉱物たちにとっての終わりは見えない。そのためには彼らと同じ視点、同じ価値観を得なくてはいけない。死を見るためには命を理解しないといけないから。それじゃあついでに聞くけど、今の式から見てあの人間はどんな感じ？
I don't think there's anything particularly odd. Next, I take a step back. The hell is that? Sure that any human would have those lines, except normally they're only few enough that you can easily count them, even as they slowly shift like flowing geometric patterns. But this, the hell is this? The lines that race across the entirety of his body, they smear themselves across him from head to foot, making it look as though all his veins and arteries have floated to the surface. I can't make out what the man looks like underneath them. I feel like throwing up. The thing goes against everything I know. It's not a man with lines of death, but lines of death that have taken on the appearance of a man.
式にはどう見える？私としては式には普通の人間に見えていてほしいんだけど。
Can't even muster. One sec. Sorry, let me check something. Right now, it's taking all I've got to stop myself from throwing up.
そう、残念ね。式はあれにも死を見てしまっているなんて。
あ、なんか普通。
やっぱり死者さえ殺せるのね。命があるなしの問題さえ無関係。動いているもの、破壊できるものなら例外なく停止させる。何よ、本当の化け物はあなたの方じゃない。式が見ている通り、あれはもう人間。死という負債を他人の血でごまかし続ける吸血鬼だから。
She sets off at a brisk pace. She makes a beeline for the ordinary-looking
おい、
man.
歩け。
式はそこにいて。
Man must have noticed her coming for him, because in the blink of the eye he vanishes from my field of view. The But rather than simply vanishing, it'd be more accurate to say he skittered away at superhuman speed. He flees into the darkness of the underpass, as if trying to hide in the shadows. Arkwood's nowhere to be seen. She too has stepped out from under the illumination of the rustling street lamps, and into the darkness so deep as to be impenetrable to the human eye. Pounding in my heart sounds uncomfortably close. Night is still young. Headlight of a passing car, sound of a train thundering overhead. By being at the center of this cacophony, I cannot feel the presence of a single person other than myself. My glasses. I need to put my glasses back on quickly. If I don't end up seeing something unpleasant, I'll end up staring straight into the abyss, one so deep as to make everything I've seen up to this point pale in comparison. My body won't move. My unfettering eyes, able to perceive the threadbare nature of the rundown world, are drawn as though entranced to the dark void Arkwood vanished into, and I gaze, transfixed, across that threshold of darkness. Suddenly silence falls, from the sound of the wind to the sound of the ground. Everything freezes in place. The world beneath the moon reaches absolute zero. From somewhere near the limits of my perception, there emanates an unfamiliar sound. There's no way I should be able to see it. There's no way the sound should be able to reach me. And yet I saw it. Sound of death clashing against death. There's no question these eyes can discern it. Vision is stained crimson. Why? Why can these eyes perceive the death of something that I shouldn't have been able to see? My glasses. If I don't put on my glasses, it reminds me of Velma. I'm gonna lose my mind. Fighting back the urge to vomit that's welling up in my throat, I put my glasses back on with trembling hands. Light and sound return. Getting a firm grip on myself, I take a good look at my surroundings and see nothing but an ordinary underpass. There's nobody around and there aren't many cars, but there's still a wholly unremarkable nighttime scene in the city. Here in the center of human civilization, there's no danger. There can't be any danger. Breathing is ragged. Even though I'm wearing my glasses, there are still after images of the death from earlier lingering in the corners of my eyes. Gives me the creeps. With faltering footsteps, she emerges from the darkness, her breathing even more labored than my own.
四季そっかまだ残ってたんだ
Seeing my embarrassed look on her face, she hurries past me, lurching as she does so. Gait is feeble, like that of an invalid. Truth be told, my own nausea is still yet to subside, but with her heart visibly in pain in front of me, all other thoughts are pushed aside. Grab hold of her shoulder as she attempts to leave. The vacant eye turns to look
大
at
丈夫
me.
よ少し疲れただけだから四季には全然関係がないんだから
バカ疲れているなら休め変に汗かいてるしどう見て
Panting as I fight to control my beatings, I grab hold of her arm.
何よそういう四季だって
俺のはただの貧血人を気にしてる余裕があるなら
いいのよどうせ気遣っても無駄
Breathing is so faint, my heart aches for her.
まさか
Can't bring herself to finish asking whether it had healed yet. I mean, she got that one protecting me. Their head still hung low, she doesn't answer. Science is not denial, but confirmation, I think.
そんな体でおとなしくできないのか
おとなし
全然してない人間離れしてるからって治り
Just I'm genuinely angry and come to realization. Can't leave her be. Truly is an unbelievable pain in the ass, but at the end of the day, I can't leave her alone.
ほら黙ってないで答えろ
Grasp both of her white shoulders. She doesn't look up, but I think I can make out a faint nod.
割としつこいのねいいわそれじゃあ場所を変えましょうどの道
She brushed off my arms and does an about face. Seems her destination is not the downtown area, but the park. Return to the park. She must have recuperated while we walk, because she's back to her normal self.
あっさり元に戻ってるし。
え？違うよ。
治りかけ。本当じゃないことも言ったってことだよな。
何その言い方。
お前の言動が怪しすぎるんだよ。文句があるならさっき何をしてたのか話して。大方予想はついてるけど、何をあんな痛がってたんだ。
さて、それじゃあ式のお望み通り、私が何をしていたかを話してあげましょう。
What a brazen way to change the subject. That's what I really want to know about anyway. Circle back on her physical condition later.
じゃあ確認からさせてくれ。さっきのやつは吸血鬼の手足になってる死者だな。あれの大元がお前の。
なんと、今度は話が早いのね、式。
そいつはどうも。俺だって少しは。
よき式の可愛い勘違いはブローブのことだけってことね。
可愛いって言うな。仕方ないだろ。あの時は自分のことだけで。
ふん、自分のことだけでま、そういうことにしておいてあげましょう。
Seemingly amused, she twirls around and peers at my face. Makes me a little uncomfortable.
いいから話。さっきの男は。
そうよ。あれはあいつのしもべだから始末しただけ。下級の使者だったけど、それでも放っておくと人間を殺して力を蓄えられて式、ホテルで話した吸血鬼の話。
Of course, I nod back. The ecology of vampires. Suzerains and how they make use of their minions. Vampires grow their clans by hunting humans, killing them, and then turning them into underlings known as the dead. That done, they conceal themselves and leave the work of collecting blood to their underlings. Remember Arkwood referring to them as suzerains, or the traditional type. Vampires that fit the stereotype of being immortal and weak to sunlight.
それはもう教えてもらった。じゃあお前の追っている敵とやらが。
ええ、間違いないわ。たとえあいつが手を下したのは最初の一人だけだとしても、そこから発生した死者たちの殺人は全だから。
さっきみたいに街を歩き回って、そうすれば親の。
強く親に結びついたしもべならね。けど今のところ外ればっかり。棺、敵の潜伏場所が見つからないのはそれだけ多く。あいつが自分の手を汚すのは数回だけ。あとは死者にした人間を操って自分は眠っているだけで領地を広げていく。この町の犠牲者は100人を超えている。あなたたちが騒いでいる犠牲者なんて人知れずいなくなった人間の一部分に過ぎないわ。
Yet again, I hear something that makes my blood run cold. 2 days ago, I thought Blob was the one responsible, because that I channeled this feeling towards the sole aim of killing him. Do so, I was able to maintain my spiritual equilibrium. But I no longer can. It's tragedy still ongoing. Over 100 victims. Over 100 people attacked, drained of their blood, and finally killed by those things that were once their fellow humans. The victims that have their blood sucked and become new monsters in turn. Ambulant corpses, just like the massive lines from earlier that can go on the prowl in the city. 3 days ago, remember all the people saying at the hotel whose lives were extinguished? Even though I was there, I didn't witness that scene unfold in its entirety. As a result, I can only imagine it in words. I couldn't viscerally feel the extent of the horrifying violence that had taken place. Same is true now. Even though I've just been told a vampire that sucks blood of humans is slowly expanding their dominion in this city, it's not enough to provoke any emotion in me, because I am a psychopath. However, what if, without any meaning, without warning, someone close to me was killed like that? How would I feel then? If I imagine it for a single moment, realizing the immorality behind a thought. Picture Aki's body, sucked up its blood and discarded like so much garbage. Feeling of vertigo, as though my brain were being slowly whittled away, gives way to exhaustion. My heart, which ought to have been burning with indignation, is strangely calm. Tell myself now is the time to think, not to tremble. I'm cognizant of the fact under these circumstances such an event could still happen at any time. I can beat myself up over my stupidity for not realizing we're still in danger some other time.
やっぱり怒ったわね、シキ。私があなたに話したくなかったのは、これは捕食される側、シキにしてみれば吸血鬼の行為は認められないものでしょうから。
Of course it is. I couldn't define for you the border between good and evil or right and wrong. But even so, I can say with certainty I feel like this is something I cannot abide. Even people whose faces I don't know have lived their lives and accumulated a past, and in proportion to that past, they each have some amount of future remaining to them. Even if that future has nothing to do with me, or something I can't even begin to comprehend, I can't cast it aside so easily. I wouldn't want to be killed for sport like that either. Such a death would be far too frustrating. Such a death would be far too lamentable. Such a death would be far, far too meaningless.
でも安心していいよ、シキ。吸血鬼たちの天敵はこの国にはいないみたいだけど、今は私がちゃんといるんだから。言ったでしょ。私の目的は町を犯している吸血鬼を退治することだって。
Wait, what did you say? I don't know what happened for her dispassionate demeanor from earlier, but she's done a complete 180 and is now quite chipper. I have to say, her words are reassuring. I'm aware of how amazing she is, and the lengths she'll go to protect human life. She defends the city against blobs billowing cold with no regard for her own safety. Something that just doesn't make sense to me about that. Right up until we fought Blob, I harbored doubts about her.
それがわからない。アルクエイドだって吸血鬼なんだろ。どうしてそんな。
私、別に人間の味方をしているわけじゃないよ。それ以外にやることがないからやってるだけだもの。
Something better to do?
ま、そんなことをやっているから狙われるんでしょうけど、そこはそれ、必要経費みたいなものかしら。
いや、お前の言いたいことはまるでわからないけど。
まあまあ、細かいことは気にしない。そんな引く手あまたヘイトいっぱいな私だったけど、シキがブローブを倒してくれたでしょ。これで障害は何もなくなったわ。あとはこの町に潜んでいる敵を見つけてなんとか始末してみせるから。シキは今まで通り普通の生活に戻って私たちなんかに関わらなくていいんだよ。
ああ、うん。
But are you really gonna be okay on your own? Words surface in my mind, but I shake my head to drive them off. What's wrong with me? Why do I feel guilty about making her take on such a dangerous task alone?
シキ？何よ、また難しい顔しちゃって。シキの聞きたい話ってこれで終わりでしょ？
You're wrong. There's still a ton of things I want to ask you. More
バ
importantly.
カ。そりゃ難しい顔ぐらいする。
だから気にしなくていいんだって。これからは毎日街を見て回って、もうこれ以上犠牲者は出さないようにするし。それともそんなに私の性能を信用できない？
I don't really want to get involved, but I can't ignore what she just said. I'm the one who lives here. I should be the one stepping up to say I'll protect the city, not her.
アルクエイド、あのブローブよりも。
まさかブローブはああ見えてもその一人よ。この町に救った吸血鬼はブローブより純度は落ちるわ。
そうか。ならお前が。
断言はできないわね。ちょっと前までの私なら問題なかったと思う。
Wait, hold on. She's not along without her listening. She's recuperating?
いやいや、風邪でもひい。というか吸血鬼って風邪ひくのか？
ええ、とんでもなく野蛮な通り魔を一つね。塔の式っていう名前の悪質なウイルスなんだけど。
ああ。
Just stirred up a hornet's nest.
冗談よ。式の傷はもう治ってるわ。ただちょっと治すのに想定以上の力を使って疲れてるだけ。痛いのはブローブから受けた傷の方。
She gently caresses her abdomen. Helen too, huh? The only reason she got that injury is because she was protecting me. Speechless. I'm the root cause of everything that's ailing her. So how could she continue to smile so unguardedly at me without so much as a trace of reproach?
やめろよ。せめて傷が治るまでどこかで休んでればいいじゃないか。今さら1日や2日休
ダメよ。ブローブと戦ったことで敵も私が来たことに気づいているはずだもの。休んだりしたらそれこそ私が弱っていると知らせるようなものだわ。
だからって今夜みたいな真似を続けて。
ええ、敵の居場所がわからない以上、あいつに血を送っている死者を片っ端から潰していくしかない。そうして血の供給源を断てば本体が直に血を吸いに現れる。
それがもし明日だったらどうするんだ。弱っているのを隠したところでそんな体じゃ逆に殺されるようなものなんだろう。
I had to beg her not to push herself, but trail off and look down at the ground. Just as she said, if she were to reveal how weak she is, the enemy would likely take the opportunity and go in for the kill. Above all, I realized something during those 2 days. When it comes to battle, she's strictly no nonsense. She doesn't fight with an eye towards minimizing her own injury. The sole focus of her strategy is ensuring her opponent's defeated. She prioritizes achieving her goal above all else. She isn't about to let herself be talked out of it. She won't stop. But if I let her go, I won't be able to talk to her like this anymore. She's so unafraid of her own death, it's driving me insane. So why do I find myself picturing her smile? If only I hadn't seen that face. If only she acted more like a vampire. Maybe I would have never developed these feelings.
どうしたのシキ？体震わせちゃって、もしかしてトイレ？
お前ってやつは。
Can you be so unreasonably calm about all this? Here's my head. Before me stands the figure of a woman in white. Can't just pretend she never existed. I don't understand what this emotion is. All I know is the 2 days I spent with her are something I'll never forget. So the idea of parting ways with her here and now, then spending tomorrow night wondering whether she's alive or dead, and the next night and the next, forever regretting my decision and kicking myself for being such a fool would be unbearable.
勘弁してくれ。ただでさえ両目が壊れてるのに。
I already have my fill of vampires. Think back on the fight against Blob. The fear I felt back then while skirting the precipice of death is so burned into my mind. Simply thinking back on it sends a shiver down my spine. This time will be no different. He's no ordinary opponent. It's absolutely no need for me to get involved. She says she'll take care of it. I should just leave it to her. And yet, even though that reasoning makes sense, I still can't allow her to go alone.
もうどうかし。
Kick the ground. Whatever logic I come up with, however I try to persuade myself, it's useless. I'm furious at my own stubbornness.
何？どうしたのシキ？
そりゃ怒りたくもなる。なんだって俺は。
I do believe in dizzy after saying that. Saw my idiotic self in the mirror right now. I'd smash it without a second thought.
落ち着いて。普通じゃないわよ、あなた。
なあ、普通じゃないさ。普通じゃなかったらこんな。
Cursing, I scratched my head in annoyance. I don't want to admit it, but I've already made up my mind. Heck, I even went and said it out loud just then.
もう、ちゃんと説明しなさい。さっきから。
だから。お前の体が治りきるまで手伝ってやるって。そう。
Turns back at me dumbfounded. To me, I finally, or perhaps barely, or rather, enough of that. I told her exactly what I wanted to say, and I have calmed down at least.
シキ、今の本当？
I groaned. Still can't even believe I said it myself.
私、ちょっと聞き損ねちゃ。お願いだからもう一度言って。
You're so funny. I groan even louder. It's too late to regret it now. The moment I uttered those words, I lost the right to lie to myself.
早く。私、今のセリフもう一度聞きたい。
Her coaxing voice is a little more than a whisper. Averting my gaze from her smile, I do my best to try and speak in an irritated voice.
だからアルケイドが弱ってるのは俺の弱っているお前一人じゃ頼りないから俺でよかったら手伝ってやるって言ったんだ。
The sparkle! Her eyes light up. She grabs my hand and shakes it down, up and down with glee.
まあ 俺じゃ大した役には立たないだろうけど。
シキが手伝ってくれるなら怖いものなんて何もないんだから。
She's so cute! She doesn't let go of my hand. I'm afraid sooner or later her brute strength will tear my hand clean off, but even so I have no desire to stop her. How do I put this? She really was smiling exuberantly. That was enough. I felt with some small amount of pride that my foolish decision was a mistake after all. Like, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry, I was checking something. So cute! I love Arcwood. By the time I'm finally released from her handshake, it's almost 9. Thinking about everything that's happened since I got back is enough to make my head hurt, but now I've decided to help. The night's still far from over. From here on, the vampire extermination begins in earnest.
それで、やっぱり街を歩いて死者を探すのか。
そうね。この町にいる死者を全滅させれば親元の吸血鬼は出てこざるを得なくなるでしょうし、今はそれぐらいしか手はないけど。
Gives me a look asking if I'm really okay with it.
いいも何も、俺はアルクエイドに付き合うだけだ。
Just standing there watching me, and outside is grin on her
なん
face.
だよ。
シキ、やけに素直だなって。
Maybe I should be a little more brusque with her from now on. Get the feeling that if I keep buttering her up like this, she'll ask me to do something outrageous again.
行くぞ。街を回ればいいんだろ。さっきの降下線下とか。
あの区域はもういいわ。死者は互いに食い合わないよう、犠牲者の数を一区間に集中させないよう、それぞれ活動ルートを定めているの。一晩に食事をさせる死者の数は決まっている。今夜はさっきので打ち止めだと思うけど、せっかく式がいるんだし、もうちょっと探索してみましょうか。
互いに食い合わないようにか。本格的に統率されて。
親元の吸血鬼にしてみれば、血液の採集は娯楽じゃなくて生存するための必要。
貴重な労働力ってわけか。でもそれだと向こうも手を打ってこないか。アルクエイドが数を減らしているんだから、ここから先は増員させるか、あるいは死者を引っ込めて姿を隠すとか。
基本的には出し渋る方でしょうね。
Give me 1 sec. I need to go grab something. Okay, sorry. Thanks for waiting. I there was something really hurting my face, so I just had to go check to see if something was up with it really quick.
けど吸血鬼である以上、どうしても他者から血や精を搾取しないと生存していられない。親元は私に狙われていると分かっていても、最低限の食料を得るために死者を出すしかないってわけ。
I see. Her modus operandi is to attack the enemy's supply lines. Working out where in the city the sire is sleeping would be far too difficult, so instead of searching for him, she plans to smoke him out. Cut off from their workers and by extension the nourishment they need to keep living, the sire will eventually have no choice but to take action themselves. As soon as the enemy goes on the mood, Arcoid will be able to sense their presence. Frickin' hiccups! So the vampire slaying comes in. Just like when we put our lives on the line to kill Blob, we'll face the one responsible for the incidents head on.
状況は分かった。とにかく夜になったら街を歩き回って。
ええ。それで四季、
メガネを外し。
その方が確実だから。私は人間と人間じゃないものの気配をあなたは聖者と死者の違いが視覚情報と索敵方法は大いに越したことはないで。
I understand what she's getting at. I was the one who said we should cooperate. It's not like I can refuse. Walking without my glasses on is.
あなたの体に大きく負担をかける。でも、いい機会だからもう一度だけ四季が大丈夫だと判断する。
Walking around the city with my glasses, huh? In the 7 years since I received the glasses, I've never once tried something like that. I mean, just seeing things with my glasses off is enough to give me a headache. It's easy to imagine what would happen if I were to go wandering around the city without them. Even so, I'll be fine. It's just a headache after all. Nothing compared to the pain that Arcoid's dealing with.
いいよ。メガネを外してついていく。それで型がつくって言うなら安いもんだ。
そう。なら行きましょう。
Take a single deep breath and remove them. Walk towards the city. Walking side by side, Arcoid and I moved through the crowds. The time I walked amidst a landscape that's riddled with scribbles was back when I was first hospitalized. Hold her hand! I don't feel dizziness so far. I guess simply looking around isn't enough to give me a headache. Though the thin lines that are present on the buildings aren't the real issue, it's when I look at the lines of the people that I start to feel ill. Just can't stop my thoughts from turning dark. It's not as though the people covered in scribbles make me feel sick. It makes a bile rise in my throat is the fact that they remind me how cheaply and easily the life of a human being can be snuffed out. We wander amidst the bustle of the city's nightlife. Arcoid doesn't utter a single word the entire time. She simply marches resolutely onward as though she has some ultimate destination in mind. Over the course of about 2 hours, we visited every prominent location around the station. In the end, I didn't turn up even a single person with the abnormal death lines we were searching for.
Shiki, メガネをかけていいわ。やっぱりもう今夜の死者はいないみたい。
Put on my glasses. Feel a sense of relief as my vision returns to normal.
そんな簡単に見切りをつけて。
一度見回れば十分よ。気配っていうのはね、食料を調達する死者はさっきので最後だったのかも。ここからはもう一段階上の死者を潰していくわ。
不機嫌そうだな。
当然でしょ。せっかく四季がいてくれるのに空振りなんだもの。ああ。かっこいいとこ見せようと思ったの。
Now that I know what's got her down, I start to feel the urge to do something about it.
まあ、俺は無駄骨でも気にしないけど、そんなにご不満ならもう一度街を俺も今度は意識を集中してみる。もしかしたら何か見つけられるかもしれ。
ダメよ。今夜はこれ以上
無理って別に
してるのよ。四季本人は気がついてないだけ。 今だって顔色すごく青いし。
Apparently ushers me over the bench. Well, if we're being honest, I do feel like I'm on the verge of being sick. I'll just take the seat for now. Even that small comfort is enough to let me slip a sigh. I wonder if sitting down released the tension that had been holding me together, or if the fatigue that had been building up simply hit me at once. Despite my shoulders feeling heavier, I feel a lot better overall. I guess that's proof I was pushing
ありがとう。
myself.
でもこれぐらい今までの頭痛に比べたら軽度だぞ。
If I rest here for a little, breathing deeply as I allow the night breeze to play over me, my nausea should fade. Problems are trifling compared to her wounds. That's why you don't have to worry.
弱い生き物のくせに無理はしないで。失神しなければ軽度。それは間違いよ。あまり見えないものを見ようとしないで。そんなに脳を酷使したら廃人になりかねないわ。
廃人って。
あなたがよ。どうしてそんなに危機感がないの？
This is so funny. The roles have reversed. Shiki doesn't care, is unaware of the danger he puts himself in, and Arquid is as well
こ
for
んな貴重
herself.
な魔眼持ちなのに平和主義者とか美味しい獲物にも程があるし。よく今まで生きてこられたわね。ひょいってつまんで食べられるわよ普通。
Country, that'd be considered normal. Or rather, I'd appreciate if you'd stop looking down on one of the most law-abiding countries in the world, calling me a peace-loving idiot. But isn't it amazing we've managed this degree of public order for so long?
わかった。あんまりいい？四季は生物の死は見やすくて鉱物の死は見にくいって言ってたでしょ。それはね、結局はあなたの脳の回線の問題なの。物の死、その因果を見るということは実際は見ているではなく読んでいるという意味合いに近いわ。
Huh?
全ての事象には大元になった原因、この宇宙の始まりにしておしまいの地点、そこには全てを記録したものがある。記録というよりはあるものだから情報とは呼べない。ただあるだけ。それ自体に意思はないし方向性もありえない。原因を垂れ流しているだけの根源の渦みたいなものね。この世界にあるものはその渦から流れ派生して今の形に行き着いたわ。私も四季ももう離れすぎ複雑になりすぎてしまって原因である始まりに戻ることはできないけど、でもね、たとえどんなに大元からかけ離れた形になっても派生した存在である以上、とても細い線だけど糸はつながっ
Is that the lines we see, the threads that
全て
connect
の
us?
根源、全ての始まりと終わりを記録したレコード、それとつながっているものは物事の終わりを知っていることになる。高等動物の脳は受信と送信を司る機能なんだけど、大抵の人間はその回線が自分に対してのみで閉じてしまっている。けど中には潜在的に回線が開いている人間もいる。何の魔術回路も利用せず超越種でさえないのに超常現象を可能とする人間。
The brain is what governs the facilities of reception and transmission. Okay. But in nearly all humans, these transmission lines are non-receptive to things other than themselves. Among them are those who have dormant lines that are receptive. Humans who aren't transcendentals. You're still capable of enacting supernatural phenomenon without using magic circuits.
これをね、魔術師たちは超能力者って区分している。人間でありながら生まれついて何らかの魔術回路そのものという突然変異体。
Okay. Is that us?
例えば何の神秘も学んでいないのに物の死を見てしまう人間とか。
We're psychic. Sorry, Arquid. I know you've gone out of your way to explain this, but my brain can't keep up with this conversation.
いいわよ、式は理解なんかしなくて。言っておきたいのは、あんまり見えにくいものを自分から見ようとしちゃダメってこと。私は見えないから断言はできないけど、式が見てしまってるものは線だけじゃないはずよ。あなたには線の他に。
Spot on. When I'm concentrating to see the lines, if I try hard enough, I'll see the points as well. Back during the moment I spent face to face with Vlav. Sorry. Excuse me. I could see a giant vortex-like point. Now that I think back on it, it wasn't the only time I've seen him. Whenever I do, I'm assailed by a phantom shock pain, as though my brain is being hacked off at the seam and I lose consciousness, but I definitely still see him.
あの時、お前を殺した時も確かに。
Choose a metaphor, they're like blood vessels. If the lines are like blood vessels, then then those points are something that gives rise to the blood vessels.
物の死にやすい線とその死。死期はその気になれば鉱物の死を見ることだって可能だと思う。けどそのために脳が生物の範疇から鉱物の範疇に回線を開いて鉱物の死を知ろうとしてしまう。それは本来ありえない運動よ。脳は過負荷を起こして死期は間違いなく使い物にならなくなる。
Stop porking, huh?
それはこの目が死を見なくなってくれるってこと？
まさか。ねえシキ、無茶をしてオーバーブローしたエンジンはどうなるのかしら。
そりゃジャンク行きだろ。一度でも焼き付いたエンジンは
Ah, that's what she meant. Simply put, the headaches I get from looking at death are like the screaming of an engine pushed past its red
わかっ
line.
た。ただ見えているだけなら問題はないでしょうけど、見えないものを見ようとするのだけはやめて。せいぜい血管が破裂して脳に負荷がかかるぐらいにとどめておきなさい。その先に踏み込んだら、そのメガネを作ってくれた魔術師には感謝しないとね。大抵の超能力者は自分の力がどんなに危険なものか知らずに使用して、まあ人間でありながら人間の社会では生きられない存在的不適合者だから。
どうやらそれが私がここに来た理由のようだし、私が君を以前の生活に戻してあげる。
After she said that, Sensei created these glasses for me. I owe such an incredible amount to her that it makes my heart ache. On the day 7 years ago, the person saved Shiki of today in more ways than one.
ところで、
うわっ
Sat there grappling with these profound emotions, she popped up right beside me and peered into my face. I can't take that right now. I just had a good talk, so I'd have liked if she'd been more respectful.
なんだよ。メガネなら
そうじゃなくて、これからどうする？もう死者は出てきそうにないし。
Time is now 11. Curfew of the residence is long and broken. I want to talk with her more. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? We're not Arkwoods, bro. We're not. Oh, let's talk a little bit longer. Talk with her a little longer. Even though I've decided to help exterminate the vampire, there's still lots I don't know.
いや、まだ吐き気が収まらないし、街の巡回は無理でも。
そう私はいいけど、四季はいいの？人間って夜は眠くなるんでしょ？
別にいいよ。もともと眠るのは苦手だし。
苦手ってことは不眠症？
いや、寝つきはいい。単に好きじゃないってこと。
ふん。夢は見ないの？
Dreams? No. I don't consider myself as such I've never seen that word before. Vagaries? Vagaries? Vagaries, maybe? Like vague? I don't know.
とにかく、0時までは付き合う。
I'm looking that word up. Hold on. Vagaries?
Vagary.
Oh. Vagaries. An unexpected and inexplicable change in situation or someone's behavior. What does that have to do with dreams? I don't understand. What's an example of a vagary? You might know the experience from the vagaries of winter weather. Huh? Unexpected, unpredictable change. What does that got to do with dreams? I don't get it. Whatever.
そっちが話ずくめで疲れてるなら、このまま帰るけど。
全然疲れてない。
She's so
む
cute!
しろ全力で受けて立つわ。
I love her.
そうなんだ。元気があって羨ましいけど、勢い余って暴れ出すなよ。
Oh, she's so good.
そんな無駄なことするわけないし。 もう式は私のことなんだと思ってるの？なんか誤解してない？
大丈夫、そこは完璧ブレてない。
Now then, without further ado, I should throw some questions her way. Something I want to know, it's about that combat dress. That's a, let's do the 27 ancestor. I don't know which to pick. I don't know which to pick, honestly. Well, we already know enough about vampires at this point, so it's gonna be the combat dress or the deal with the 27 ancestors. I don't know which one to pick. I'm gonna close my eyes and do meow 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 meow. Okay, it'll be 2. Hello? Oh, let me click. Hello? What? It's not letting me what? Wait, hold on. No, I didn't want. No. Stop it! It's only letting me click the last one? No. Now let me do that with the second one. Am I not allowed to click the second one? I mean, you guys can see me clicking, right? But I don't know. I guess I'll go with this one. I'm confused. Wait, hold on. I don't know why it won't let me. I don't know. It's the best chance I'm ever gonna get. To be honest, it's something I'm really curious about.
ブローブと戦っていた時に着てた服。
Can I see them? I thought as much. It's really natural for her to make that face. But I can't turn back now that I've let slip what I'm thirsting for. Second choice is locked currently. Oh, thank you. Go user or GOO? Thank you. I appreciate that. I was just so. I was like, did I do something wrong?
あの時は遠くにいたからよく見えなくて。
Oh my god. We're
なんか
thirsting.
今と違う服装になってなかった？
Do my best to seem nonchalant. Yeah, nice try, Shiki. No matter what happens, I must maintain the facade of having a purely academic interest in this matter. If Arcade gets suspicious, it'd be an incalculable loss.
おお、ブローブ対策で表面を変えていた時のこと？疲れるからやりたくないんだけど、レシピはまだ残してるから。
Cute.
はい、これでいいの
？Shiki just gets a nosebleed. Good enough. That's not something you can casually say after showing me something like this. Her silhouette is elegant and streamlined. The silk gloves that envelop each of her arms are sumptuously smooth. Her exposed shoulders are glamorous yet purely reserved. So this is how it feels to be at a loss for words. A pure white beauty that can only be described as lovely stands before me. I let out an unintelligible sound in admiration. I can hardly believe that the being before my eyes right now is the same vampire that's been a thorn in my side all day long. She's not been a thorn in your side. You're just a bitch, Shiki. She should come back to the mansion now that she has this dress on. That'd certainly be a sight to behold.
これ、私の選択ミスだからあんまり好きじゃないんだけど。ブローブの原理が寒さだと見抜いていれば、もっとあったかいイメージで固めてたわ。
Now that she mentions it, it seems like the area immediately surrounding her is quite cold. I think I can even make out the sparkle of ice crystals dancing in the air.
そっか、耐熱仕様なんだもんな。そりゃ冷房機能もついてるか。
そう、くれぐれも触らないでね。 触れると式も凍っちゃうから。これは私自身の守りじゃなくて、グローブに組みついた時炎を消すために作ったものよ。
So in theory, she can defend herself while attacking at the same time. Literally, it's just like her. Even so, that appearance. I don't want to admit it, but she really is a princess, huh?
もう何を難しそうな顔して。
We got the
もし
hots
かし
for
て式
you!
私の失敗を見て楽しいの？
そんなわけあるか。これが失敗なら世の中の9割は失敗だ。普段からこの格好、第一他のやつに見せるなんてとんでもない。
Oh my god!
これは俺だけの
I can't! I can't believe we just said that out loud.
そうじゃあ気に入ったってこと？
She's so cute! Oh yeah, we like it alright. I suddenly regained my composure. I can't believe I just let her get that much out of me with such a simple attack.
まあそれなりに。
Try to save myself somehow. Seemingly delighted by use of rely on you, she
も
responds.
ちろん私基本的に万能だか
Ah!
ら。殺すことしか能のない式を最大限にサポートするね。
I think I just inadvertently sparked a strange sense of confidence in her. I can't believe her. She definitely said that while picturing striking me like a tennis ball. Maybe I shouldn't have come up with such a harebrained scheme during our fight with Blob.
ところでその服名前
名前？そんなのいちいち決めないけど、ドレスコードはそうね、氷河をまとうか、そういうイメージで作ったわ。
じゃあ
キラーウェアをイメージしていたでしょうね。
I would love nothing more than see her in a cute, a Hawaiian maid dress code like that.
ねえ、そろそろ力無駄に使いたくないし。
I looked in to see it go, but I can't think of any more reasons to stop her. I did my best to keep my composure as I told her to go ahead. Actually, there's something else I've been wondering
な
about.
あブローブとの戦闘服社交界に行くわけでもあるまいし。
社交界ってそういうものでしょ？
なる。
Seems in the world of vampires, the fight is what passed her a black tie event. Well, that was cute. Hands of the clock reached their zenith. While we were chatting away, the time mercilessly advanced on the midnight hour we'd agreed would signal the end.
もう日付が変わっちゃうね。もったいないけど、そろそろ休んで。
俺ならまだ元気だけど。
それは四季がそう思ってるだけよ。どうせまた明日には会えるんだから。
She can softly with prancing steps, keeping her eyes on me all the
明
while.
日ってちょっと待て。
ここでいいよ。時間は10時頃がちょうどいいかな。おやすみなさい、四季。また明日ここでね。
I didn't even have a chance to stop her. Their hands waving happily in the air, she takes her leave.
No.
What a selfish woman is when I want to grumble. The words wouldn't come. It was wrong to call her something like that. Selfish woman is far too cute of an expression for someone like her.
なんだよ。
Look far too mischievous. If she gives me a smile like that, there's no way I can break my promise. Lol. Lol. I returned to the mansion. Since it's the middle of the night, there's not a single light on inside. Front door is
き
unlocked.
つい。
Let us sigh of gratitude. I enter the mansion, treading gingerly as to not wake Akihara Kohaku. What about Hisui? You want to wake her up? Take a deep breath and plop down on the bed. My body is really exhausted, like she said. Bed almost swallows me whole as I collapse. Lying there, I let out a deep breath. I made a promise with her. By some twist of fate, seems I've once again got myself involved in a
でも
mess.
仕方ないじゃないか。
Or maybe I didn't want to leave her. Leave that miraculously beautiful yet inhuman being alone. I'm acting like a fool. I already killed her with my own hands once. What am I getting so worked up about? I'm only lending her a hand with the vampire extermination to protect the city. If I don't, some harm might befall me. So I have no choice but to cooperate, that's all. Talk about denial.
それ以外
Cause you like her, dumbass! You literally said that dress was only for you to see, as no one else should. Like, that's crazy. I close my eyes, take off my glasses. I surrender myself to the enveloping hand of weariness and allow it to drag my body and consciousness down to the dark abyss of sleep. I've decided to help her one more time. For now, I'll clear my mind of anything unnecessary and prepare for tomorrow. Woo! Yes. Eighth day, baby! I'm gonna play a little more, but then I'm gonna get something to eat. In those days, the mansion was a giant playground. The forest, a deep ocean. The house, a towering castle. The gardens within those grounds would have taken an uncountable number of days to fully explore. We reveled in it all. Every day was fun. We didn't realize we'd eventually grow up. The notion that we'd carry on like this, day in, day out, was something we never questioned. It's a childhood of puppy-like exuberance. We got along so well we became inseparable playmates. Whenever we looked back, we'd see Akiha trailing behind us. Whenever we waved, she'd hide out of embarrassment. That's how things always were. In those days, the mansion was a did I already read this? Closed off world that would have taken an unaccountable number of days to fully explore, reveled in it all. Wake up slowly. Morning light chips away at my lingering drowsiness as I lie here. Get the feeling I was having a nostalgic dream. Yesterday I wake up to then I'd find something unpleasant intrusive in my field of view. Sharp headache gouges deep into the flesh and bone beneath my temple. This morning is so vivid, it's as if the sun had fallen into the garden. Powerful rays dye the entire room. Right, my glasses. Put my strength to my arm to reach for the glasses, but it doesn't budge. There's no feeling in my limbs. Can't will them to move. Seems like the only part of my body that's actually functioning is my mind. I'm able to even close my eyes, simply let the time tick away. Harsh light softens. Gain feeling in my limbs. Take a deep breath, finally manage it. Ah! And finally managed to stifle this sight by putting on my glasses. Breathe out and lift myself upright. It's not like this is anything to worry about. I used to suffer spells like that fairly often back when I was in the hospital. Temporary deterioration in eyesight induced by exhaustion with an accompanying paralysis in my limbs. As if it wasn't enough, it also does away with my appetite. I spend too long looking at things with my glasses. It's a given I'll end up paying for it like this.
けど
I feel like I could see them way more clearly than I used to. Lines on the building are difficult to see. Even when I can make them out, they're normally quite thin, so not often I can see them as clearly as I did. The lingering remains of my headache feels just like a gunshot wound. Long ago, Sensei gave me a warning. It's possible my eyes could call for something bad. Record told me not to use them too much earlier. He said doing so would destroy my brain, destroy me. This is the price I pay for getting involved with vampires as a human. The risks I'm taking aren't combined to the times. I'm actually going toe-to-toe with a vampire. I'm putting myself in danger every moment of every day. I'm not about to start second-guessing myself now. I knew what I was getting into and I decided I want to help her.
そうだよな
Besides, even if I were to bury my head in the sand, it wouldn't change the fact that I'm caught in the middle of this turmoil. I'll wipe the city clean of vampires. If I want to protect Akiha and those close to me, I have no choice but to lend her a hand.
Yosh.
Psych myself up and leap out of bed. I get changed right away, then thank history for last night.
あれ
Speaking of, she's nowhere to be found. It's after 7 in the morning. This is around the time she'd normally be calling out to me from the side of the room.
寝坊したのかな
An unlikely explanation is my school uniform still but neatly prepared. Perhaps I think she's mad at us. Perhaps she simply had other matters to tend to. Curious, but it's not my business. Says I don't have any time to spare. I better change my uniform and head down to the first floor. She's back. When I opened the door, my memories of last night surfaced in a flash before my eyes. Amazing. I astounded even myself. I really ought to get my head checked. Maybe they can work out what quirk my mental makeup made it possible for me to forget such of an event. Let's only if I make it out of here alive. I stand frozen in place like a statue, hands on the door, unable to take a single step inside. Meanwhile, in the living room, Akiha is sitting on the sofa as though reenacting her role from last night. Kohaku is standing behind her. Normally, no matter how prickly of a mood she's in, she still greets me with a good morning. But today she's acting like I'm not even here. Goes without saying it was last night's dereliction of my duty to explain the connection with Arkoi that has earned me this treatment. It may seem like Akiha is relaxing gracefully, but the pressure she's exuding is no joke. Tension in the living room right now is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
おはようございます、四季さん。朝ごはんの前にお茶にいたしますか？
Well, at least one person here is unconcerned with all this.
おはよう琥珀さん。お茶はまた落ち着いた時に。
Turn her greeting and enter the living room. She gives me a sidelong glance as I gingerly creep up into the room. Not gonna falter in the face of this pressure. Times like this are true tests of one's mettle. I'm gonna start apologizing. But it happened last night. I'm in too deep to talk my way out of this. Any excuses I make will just be adding more fuel to the fire. It's time to go in all guns apologizing and just push through. Need to cut in with a vigorous I'm sorry before she has the chance to interrogate me.
昨夜のことだけど。
兄さん、一つだけ忠告してよろしいですか？
Cuts me off. Her voice is so frightening it sends a shiver down my spine.
兄さんは遠野家の長男なんですから、いたずらに謝罪の言葉を口になさらないように。謝るということは自分が悪いと認めることです。その場合、遠野家の長男に相応の罰則を与えなくてはいけなくなるでしょう。
Her smile is so sadistic it's possible I misheard her saying much as it gladdens me. If I can't seek forgiveness by apologizing, the only thing left for me is to be killed. Right, time to
すまな
start.
い秋葉。遠野家の長男と。
So what time we retreat to the dining
兄
room?
さん、
Her curt voice brings me to a
食
halt.
事の前に話があり、どうぞ。
Their stern words, one I cannot disobey. Phrases such as "you reap what you sow," "all my foolish brothers ought to perish," balm in my head. Guess I have no choice but to make my stand and accept my fate.
わかった。
Defeatedly take a seat on the sofa. She wastes no time swiftly preparing me tea. Gives me a small amount of courage as if she's silently telling me to hang in there. She's right. She might be the head, but she's still my sister. I feel like I should at least be able to hold my ground. Take a sip of the black tea and lock eyes with
それで
her.
どんな話？
昨夜の女性と成功なされたのですか？
Not good. I'm choking. Damn it, Akio, you're not supposed to go throwing fastballs right out of the gate. Nearly choked to death on my tea.
兄さん、
聞いてるよ。
それでは答えて。昨夜の女性についてできる限り。
その条件だと。
私を怒らせないで。
Those are warnings, not conditions.
いや、無理難題な。
なんです？声一体。
どうと言われても。
夜中に出かけるほどのご友人なんですね。ええ、私だって兄さんが将来どなたと関係を持とうと遠野家の長男がそのどこのものともわからない女性と。
I see, so that's how her relationship looks to her.
待てアキハ、まずはじめに俺はあいつの探し物に手を貸してるだけで。
その割には随分と親しそうでしたけど、あの方とはあくまで一時的な。
Her gaze is cold. If I just nod yes, this conversation could end peacefully. But I feel strangely reluctant to affirm that statement. Although we both have something to gain by working together, I find it hard to say that's all there is to it.
それはその親しくはないけど。
でしょうね。今まで見たこともないほどの慌てようでしたから。
そこまで慌ててないし薄情でもない。あいつがうちに来るなんて思ってもいなかったから
そうですか。あの女の方は落ち着いた様子で兄さんのことをずっと待っていましたけど。
She gives me a sidelong glance so she has something more to say. Seems like she thoroughly believes Arkwood and I are
あ
going
の
out.
なアキハ、そもそも俺とあいつが知り合っ
Stopped myself from saying it's because I killed her. I feel like she'd believe me if I did tell her the truth. And besides, there's no way I could let her know I did something like that. That being said, I can't come up with a better explanation, so just trailing off, same as I did last night.
答えられないのでしたら、先ほどから兄さんはあいつと繰り。
名前はアルクエイドだけど。
そうですか。ということはお知り合いになったの。
She trapped you! She says there's not a single foreign exchange student in our school. Wait, why does she know that?
それで兄さんはあのような方と
街で知り合ったんだよ。
偶然ですか。
ああ、いや。
Truth is, there wasn't any conversation at all. Only murder, followed by the chase. Either way, I was the one who started it.
どうして声をかけたんです？兄さんはアルクエイドさんとは何もないのに。
Her question was truly precise. Step by step, she's honing in on my weak point. I'm like a deer standing transfixed in the path of oncoming headlights. Sooner or later, I'll be pushed to a point where I can't deceive her anymore. It's depressing, but it is what it is. At this point, I should end this conversation even if I have to use force.
ああ、もうとにかくあいつとはなんで。大体な、俺が何をしようがどうせ形だけの長男なんだから、誰と付き合ったところで遠野家に迷惑はかけないはずだ。
I know it's unfair to bring up the fact that I was disowned, but she's not likely to back down unless I resort to that. Oh, that pissed her off. Raises her eyebrows and then stands up without making a sound. It's odd. Thought she'd have a ruthless counterattack, but contrary to my expectations, she turns away and has the uneasy expression on her face.
私だってこんなことは言いたくありません。ただあの人は嫌な感じがするんです。他の相手なら仕方がないと諦めます。けれど兄さんがあの人に気を許すのなら、なんだか私がバカみたいじゃないですか。
I don't get it. She spoke through pursed lips, visibly frustrated.
どうしたんだアキハ。なんか
She's
もう
concerned
いいで
about
す。
you.
兄さんは兄さんのなさりたいよう。
Aw. Why is Shiki so bad at talking to everyone? Ah! You're ruining all these relationships. Oh my god. She's obviously concerned about you. You're so dumb, Shiki. Why don't you understand other human beings? Why are all main characters like this? Please. Let me in there. Let me talk to her. I can fix this.
四季さん、秋葉様がおかわいそうです。恋人を連れてくるのでしたら、そうすれば秋葉様も納得してくださったでしょうに。
She lets out an exaggerated sigh and chases after her. Well, great, Shiki. Well, fucking great. Would it have been different if we picked a different option? I feel like it wouldn't have. She sees me off as I leave the Tono residence. Akia's dramatic exit from the living room still weighs heavy on my mind. But given that Arcoid is the root of the cause, even if I were to chase after her and try to explain, we just end up talking in circles. I feel bad for her, but until the dust has settled in this incident, I have no choice but to continue like this. Wonder if I could choose to be honest and open up about everything I've been through. Even though there's a chance no one will believe me, this is information that could help keep the city safe. It's already late in the game, but I should start spreading awareness about vampires. Take out my phone as I walk. Whether or not anyone will find it credible aside, I should just post everything I've learned so far as message boards. This seems like a bad idea. I feel like the vampire is gonna see that and kill us. Like, I don't feel like this is a good idea. Telling everyone trust me in all caps probably have the opposite effect. But if I just publish the raw information, there's a chance it could circulate as an urban legend and serve as a warning.
もしもし
Someone calls out to me and I stop walking. I turn around. Oh! I know this person. He was at the scene of after Vlav, like, the fire and everything. He was one of the people who came and were, like, covering it up.
俺のことですか？
うん、君。だって君以外にこんな道歩いてる子。
He's right. We're on the road in front of the Tono residence. And the only traffic it usually gets is an odd car. The only people that come through here on foot are probably mainly employees of the household.
それでさ、君さ、今この家から出てきたよね。もしかして中で働いている使用人さんの子かな。ならラッキーだよ。すごくラッキー。あ、俺じゃなくて君がね。お小遣い欲しくない？遠野家の人の話とかちょっと知りたいんだよね。
Keep my distance, so I can't explain why. It's not because of his insincere manner of speaking rubbed me the wrong way. It's more that I'm terrified by how intent he is. Get the impression he's paying close attention to my every word, no matter how trifling. Careful not to miss any clues as to my attitude.
あ、もしかして野じ馬だと思われてる？まあ野じ馬なんだけど、ちゃんと報酬弾むよ。特に知りたいのは、ほら、最近帰ってきたっていう長男の話。来たばっかりで写真資料もなくてさ、どんな外見なのか、好きな食べ物とか好きな女の子のタイプとか、ぶっちゃけ何に弱いのか教え。
Hello? What happened? Oh. Sierra Man leaves town clutching his privates.
そこの抜けた鍋かてめえ。どう見てもそいつが党の指揮じゃねえか。
A kid? Oh, that interests me. Guess he was hidden behind the other guy. This boy doesn't look like he could be much older than 12. Must have been the one to kick the man in the nuts.
マジっすか。全くブルジョワの匂いがしませんよね。
どんな匂いだそれ。金に匂いなんてねえだろ。それとも手垢の匂いってことか。金持ちはどいつもこいつも赤だらけってか。ずいぶん舐めた発言だなおい。
いえ違います。成金だけ、一部の成金だけですってば。ほら、一日の半分を金勘定で浪費する氷菓子みたい。
そりゃうちのジジイのことか。上司批判とはずいぶん太いな安藤。
What on earth have I stumbled into? Maybe I should call the cops and let them deal with it.
ああ、そこ無言で110番コールしない。なんで今時の若い子はドライに無駄なことばっかりするかな。
Looking for my phone, which I already keyed in 11. And points to the black identification card. It's my first time seeing a police ID card up close, but there's no questioning this is a genuine article.
警察手帳って。
そうだよ。怪しいもんじゃないよ。刑事さんだよ。なのにさ、昨日から門前払いでさ、こっちはちょっと話を聞きたいだけなのにアポ取れって一点張りでさ。 なんで仕方なく国道で張り込みしてたわけ。
Some to be the two most suspicious detectives I've ever met. However, regardless of whether or not the ID card is the real deal, I'm curious why they're stalking at the area in front of our house. I think they're bad news. I think they're bad news. No thank you. Because I remember that they're with the vampire people. It's less about the Tono family and probably more about Arcuid. So, no. I don't care what they want. Hi, Big Doge, how are you? I get the feeling it wouldn't be wise to engage with them. Not just because of the untrustworthy air, but also since I've been engaging in some really suspicious behavior.
すみませんが、うちに用があるならしかるべき手続きを済ませて。
Turn my back and begin to follow the road down the hill. Being here any longer would only serve to provide them an opening exploit. I kind of want to see what the other option is.
今日は顔だけでも覚えてもらって、今後ゆっくり。こりゃ出直しですかね。
ああ、てめえの態度がアホすぎたからな。てめえ何年刑事やってやがる。
給料は無駄に減っていいものじゃないんですけど。
Maybe I should at least listen to what they have to say. I just want to see what the option is, but I'm gonna do it. I should find more out about their intention. I can't deal with them effectively. I don't know what they're after.
俺でよければ話ぐらい。要件は何ですか？
うん。北口駅前の火災のこと。ほら、当日と翌日まで現場を仕切ってた警備会社。お宅の子会社でしょ。もう引き上げちゃったけど、当日の責任者と話をしたいんだよね。
そうだったんですか。ですので、俺には分かりかねます。
何？長男なのに知らないの？そりゃ困った。やっぱり妹さんの方が実権握ってるわけ？
どうしてそんな話を？口頭無形だとは思いますけど、あの火災の原因は東のグループの過失だとでも？
そんな方針は持ってない。ありゃ問題は別っていうか、まあお家の人ならバラしてもいいか。昨日さ、地下陥没の瓦礫の下からちょっと良くないというか意味わかんないもんが出てきてね。記録だと10年くらい前に当の巻久が相場を上回る高額でそのあたりの事情聞きたいんだよね。なんで駅前の一等地を買っておいて。
俺には何とも。巻久は亡くなりました。話はそれだけですか？
いや、妹さんに取り継いでくれないの？ちゃんと身分と目的話して。
あいにく妹は忙しい身なのでお引き取りください。話がしたいのならしかるべき手続きをしてからどうぞ。
I'm back and begin to follow the road down the hill. I know what they're after now. I don't understand the situation, but I'm not gonna let them meet Akiha.
おい、
My pitched voice brings me to a halt. Had I been Detective Ando, I would have simply ignored it, but the boy's voice commanded such authority, I found it strangely difficult to oppose.
正義感も結構だが部をわきまえな。人間らしい死に方をしたいんならこの辺りが引き際だぜ。
なんだって？
Stopped in my tracks and stared at the younger boy. Did this guy say ordinary human death just now?
何が言いたいんだ？
言いたいことは今ので全部だ、間抜け。これで聞かなきゃ勝手に死んでな。ほら帰るぞアンド。いい加減食事時だ。ケーキ食わせろ、ケーキ。チーズと蜂蜜たっぷりなやつな。
仰せのままに。
I never understood
な
why
ん
they
で
put
俺
cheese in
日本に来てまで
pastries.
ボンボンのおもりしてんだろうな。
Strange you'll get in a car that was parked by the side of the road and head off in the direction of the station. So we didn't give up the impression of being police, but apparently the authorities are keeping an eye on our mansion. Not only that, but the land in front of the station where the incident occurred belongs to us?
いや、
Must be right. I mean, the keyman only happened because of Arkwood's thoughtless way of doing things. There's no connection between the killings and the land north of the station. Shoo away for foreboding thoughts. Where are we now? Pulling myself together, I begin the long descent down the hill. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I had a feeling that there's more to the family than we realize. Not only because of the guy with all the bandages on him, but like, Kohaku seems to know more than she lets on. The whole incident with us when we were little, and the accident, and how it was dealt with is suspicious. The fact, like, what the bandage guy said about Makihisa is weird, saying how he didn't want to deal with things in the night. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that don't make sense. I think I'm gonna save here, though. I'm very hungry. And I'm gonna go eat, but I will play, I don't know. I'll see if I want to play some more Tsukihime later, or if I'll just wait till the next time. I don't know yet, but regardless, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or night. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye bye!